We're live.
Right. Hello everyone. You can see what a beautiful day it is, apart from the wash that's just been caused by that lunatic. This live should have started about 15 minutes ago, but we have just come out to check our pots after a couple of days, and one of them has been stolen. Disappointing, and I know that some of you that followed the channel for a while remember when our last few got stolen. Unfortunately, there is that element. We're just going to come up to the first fleet of pots. The clarity today is incredible. I don't know if we'll get a chance to show you. Just pass me.
Yeah.
If you can see the water there, we are in 32 feet of water, and you can see the seabed. I've just had a quick steam over the fleet of pots, and I can actually see them on the bottom. I can't see if there's anything in them. What we'll do is I'll haul them up, show you what's in them, and I'll shoot them back. In the time it takes for me to break them up and then shoot them back, Hannah will possibly ask me some questions. So if you want to send some questions in, save it until then. Is the audio okay? Are you happy that it's in landscape?
Sharp. Audio is great.
Usually when hauling them, I would keep the engine running because it's such a nice day today. And we're on slack on low. Shouldn't need to. One of the things that if you're going to do this yourself, always keep your feet flat on the deck. That way you'll never end up with a bite of rope around your feet.
Number one.
Vanilla crabs. Vanilla crabs.
Vanilla crabs.
Vanilla crabs.
What's a vanilla crab?
Because it uses sauce, I think. It uses much.
What's that one in there, James? That big crab. Come here a second.
It spits it
Put
out
yourself
with
there
the
because you
big.
can watch the pot come up through the hole. You see the rub?
Yeah.
See it coming?
Yeah. I don't know if it's picking it up on camera. There it is.
That's got a big crab in.
It has.
Look at that, James.
Stop.
Starfish has been eating a crab, look. You want it?
Maybe it's hurting. It's hurting.
Oh, let me put it in your feed. We'll put him down there a minute. Is this the last one, John?
It's another.
Lobster. 2 lobsters in this one. Can you see all right? There's the sun behind me.
No, it's all right.
Because I can spin the boat round.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. The sun's kind of diagonal. There's no
Right.
glare.
First one. Look at that. Little female. She'll be undersized. We'll have a guess. Maybe 85.
82.
How big do you think, James?
100.
80, 100.
$87. Pass me.
What do you want?
Pass me that a second.
Okay. We're back. Sorry, it went a minute then.
Another little one. A little male. How big do you reckon?
Oh,
Let me see.
Same size, 85?
Yeah.
10,000.
1,000.
Yes.
Maybe not that big. We're measuring and have to measure from the back of the eye to the back of the carapace. Like that. 85. Right. We're here, James.
A big crab and a vanilla crab.
Big crab and a little crab.
Vanilla crab.
Yeah,
Has that crab been eaten while it's been in there?
yeah. We've pretty much sucked the life out of this one.
Sacrificial crab.
In fact, actually, that is indicative of an octopus because you can see just a completely empty shell. Look.
Vanilla crab.
Velvet swimming crab, quite a decent size one.
A vanilla crab.
Fiddler crab,
Yes, that one's
a little female edible.
Oh, and now
This one's a bigger one, isn't it?
is the box.
Its legs in the wood.
It's a vanilla crab.
That's a better size one, isn't it?
It's a vanilla crab.
Fiddler crab,
Yes.
it's a
Someone-
female edible crab.
Someone said the shape of the pot looks like the Krusty Krab.
Is this Mr. Krabs? Well, Mr. Krabs' wife.
No.
I think she'll be minimum size. I'll stick her in a bucket just in case. We'll measure at the end. And another starfish.
On that.
I'll get you a
We've
different
got one down here.
And that one's shaped like SpongeBob's house.
It does look like SpongeBob's house.
I want another stuff.
You want another starfish?
Yeah.
What type of starfish do you want?
Another one.
Of course, I've got some grey ones and a blue one and a little bit of a yellow one. Right. Deal with Mr. Crab first.
Yes.
Another female.
Whoa.
Slightly smaller. Too small.
Too small.
With some keel worms on the back.
Yeah.
Do you want to hold her?
No.
No, okay.
What are those starfish?
You want one?
I want
Which one do you want?
that
The one with brown bits on? The big one.
the big one.
Big one. There you go.
Where do you want it?
Down there.
Move your lunchbox.
I have pets. That's some stuff.
Oh, there's another eaten crab in there.
Another female. Two velvets have been eaten. Maybe even another one. Yeah. This one has got no legs, but it's still alive. Look. Go on, let go of it.
Let go. Let go, Mr. Krabs. Let go,
Go on,
Mrs.
the bait
Krabs.
band.
Mr. Twabs. Mr. Twabs is super strong.
He is super strong. Trying to be careful that you don't pull the claws off. There you go. Another female. What is it with all the females today? Right. I'll stick some bait in these if you want to ask any questions.
Someone asked what bait you're using.
Everybody has their own favourite bait. I am experimenting with different baits. In some of the pots, I'm using mackerel and salted mackerel, which if any of you have ever used it before, they can attest to how much it absolutely stinks. And in the other pots I'm using a mixture of wrasse, pouting, whiting, everything that I can get. And the carcasses of the fish that we catch and keep. That's a pollock.
Someone asked, I think it was Graham, asked if you got the pictures of his boat that he sent via email.
I'm not sure. I can't think off the top of my head. I get so many folks messaging me. You'd have to remind me.
How long do you keep them in the water for?
Usually, right, depending on the strength of tide, on bigger tides, 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours. These have been in longer. These have been in around about 3 days, I think. Just because it's been real bad weather.
Bruce Wayne asked, what's eating the crabs in the pots?
Well, either other crabs, lobsters, or octopus. You can generally tell if it's an octopus because, like that one, it's just a hollow shell. It's just nothing left.
Someone said try sardines and salmon heads.
They're too soft. Salmon heads are good. Sardines are too soft.
Someone's asked if you want to go catfishing with them in the UK.
Is that
Sardines
online
are
dating?
horrible. Sardines are horrible.
Sardines are horrible. Why are sardines horrible?
Because.
Someone asked if they're for our table or commercial.
What do you mean?
Someone said, are they for the table or commercial?
Do you want to answer that?
They're for the table. We don't have a commercial license.
Exactly.
Someone said they use chicken legs.
Okay.
Kitten legs.
Chicken
Bye.
legs? Yeah, I know quite a few people in the States who use chicken legs for blue crabs.
Bye.
I wouldn't use chicken, I would eat it.
Rotten beef or pork works well for catfish, apparently. Any plans for coarse fishing?
When the saltwater fishing is this good, we generally don't do much coarse fishing.
Someone's asked if you need a license for pots.
It depends in the area that you're fishing. All of the areas of the UK, I think there's 12 different fisheries districts. And every area is different. They have a slightly different law. And that's whether or not you need a license, how many pots you can have, how many lobsters you can keep. Sometimes you have to have tags. Sometimes you have to have tags in your pots, sometimes you don't. It's all area specific.
Someone else asked how much does it cost in fuel for a day on the boat?
That's quite an open-ended question. Are you asking me personally or are you asking as a general question? Because it would depend on the size of an engine that you use, how much steaming around you do, what type of fishing you're doing, how fast you steam, because an engine will have like an economical speed, and if you go around full speed all the time, it's going to cost you twice as much.
Someone's just asked if we ever have anyone tamper with or steal the pots.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start of the live stream that we've actually, this morning when we've come out to check our pots, someone's stolen one of them. I had a single pot shot in an area and it's not there.
Rock, paper,
Someone asked what type of Orkney this is.
It's an Orkney 520.
scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors.
Is bacon a good bait?
I've never used bacon and krill.
Rock.
What's the maximum wind speed you would consider safe to take the boat out?
Wind speed isn't so important as sea state.
Let's do it then.
It would also depend what I'm doing. If I'm going out by myself, just 1 second please, James. If I'm going out by myself, I've taken the boat out in weather that I wouldn't take my little boy out in. And yeah, depends on your own, depends on the boat, depends on the area, and depends on your own experience. I can't really give you a number because if you take my word for it and you go out in that and you end up in trouble, it's kind of my fault. But yeah, I've had this boat out in some pretty crappy weather, and it's been a great boat. The only thing that it doesn't really like is it doesn't like a following sea. So it doesn't like the waves up its bum, because it picks the boat up and it rides down on its shoulder.
Have we ever caught sharks down here?
We have a shark fishing video on the channel.
Do we get blue crab?
No, blue crabs are an American thing. We get spider crabs, velvet swimming crabs, edible crabs, and a couple of different variations of shore crabs.
Apparently, American crayfish like bacon.
Great. Is that crayfish or crawfish? Because there are two. Crawfish being like the freshwater type, or crayfish being like a lobster but with no claws. We also get in crayfish, but we call them call them either spiny rock lobsters or crayfish. I don't know if you can see this here, but there's an anemone stuck to the side of the pot. Look, snake looks an anemone. Oh, what was that?
Do you take people out on the boat as in a charter trip?
On this boat, no. The reason being is because this boat isn't coded to take paying passengers, to take paying customers. What we do is we work alongside a local charter boat, and sometimes we run what's called fish locker grassroots charters.
What's that tiny little fish down there between your legs?
Yeah, it got picked up on a rope. We've had a few of them. It's like a little tiny pilchard.
I want that fish.
You want that, do you?
Yes.
We'll get hold of it then.
I need it well.
No, you don't. Let's get more put back.
Can you eat velvet swimming crabs?
Yes, you can, if you want to. Right, let me think about where we're going to put it.
That one's shaped like an octopus.
This is one of the things, if you're going to be shooting your own pots, is you need to be aware that you're staying out of the way of the commercial fishermen.
Apparently you sound stressed.
No, no, will be if this engine doesn't start. Fuel line.
What cameras do we use for our videos? This is on my iPhone, but our actual main uploaded videos we use GoPros. We're using a GoPro 8.
Come on. Right, fuel up.
Question for James. What's the scariest thing you've touched or held? What's the scariest sea creature? A shark? You've held a shark?
Dogfish shark.
That's a shark.
We're going to be in trouble here. It had to happen on a live stream, didn't it? We're having issues with dirty filters.
There's another starfish. There's another starfish, Dad.
There is another starfish, is there?
Protein.
Oh yeah, he's on the bottom, isn't he?
What,
His
Dad?
legs hanging out.
What, Daddy? What, Dad?
Oh yeah.
He's hanging on the bottom of our drop pot.
It was hiding on the bottom of the crab.
Yes.
What a cheeky monkey.
There's you that spot them on there.
If you want to take some questions.
Our tuna in season are not quite another month or so.
That's a weird sound. That's going to be like that.
The bait fish aren't quite in yet, like we haven't got all the mackerel. So we have the tuna and sharks generally.
Sharks have just, literally, the first one of the season has just been caught last week. The sharks don't generally follow the bait fish because the sharks will eat whitey and they'll eat anything.
And sharks are very stupid.
Sharks are very stupid. Is that from a creature report, is it?
Yes.
What's the hardest fighting fish that you've caught?
Just all over or pound for pound?
I just said.
It'd be hard to say that it wasn't a tuna, but pound for pound if you're going to...
No, that sailfish wasn't easy, was it?
I was a little bit overgunned for that sailfish. The gear that we were using was quite heavy.
Do you find many keeping size lobsters in Whitby from the shore?
Who's asking?
I can't remember. Sorry.
There's 4 or 5 people that have asked me this and they keep asking me again and again and again. I'll tell you the same thing every time. If you go anywhere between Redcar and Scarborough on the shore, you stand a chance of catching lobsters and crabs, because it's all hard ground with weeds on. It's picking the right tides, picking the right places. If you're hoping to find something, you don't want to be going onto a beach that's got loads of tourists on it, because chances are it's already been found.
Don't even need the electronics when the water's this clear to find some rocks, do you? So he's just going to put these pots back out, and then we've got another string to go and haul, which, providing the boat get there, will keep streaming. I know we're allowed to keep 2 lobsters. How many crabs are you allowed to keep, John?
Depends on your area.
Okay.
1. Oh, that starfish went into the dome. That starfish was big. And mine's is bigger. And yours trap.
Yeah, it depends purely on the area. In some areas it's 2 lobsters and 10 crabs. In other areas it's 5 in total, being 2 lobsters or 1 lobster and 1 crayfish, or 2 crayfish and crabs made up of spider crabs, edible crabs. It depends purely on your area. If you want to know what the legislation is in your area, you need to speak to your local fisheries.
We just got to get the last pots and then we're going.
Right.
What depth of water is it? It's about 37 feet where you just shot those, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's low tide.
So it's 37 feet at the moment, it's low tide, so will it be about 60?
55 to 60.
See, I do listen sometimes. There's Fraggle Rock. I'm holding the phone, but when John's filming on his own, on top of the boat up here, there's a GoPro stand. Yes, we're just outside of Falmouth. So this is the next one. So there's 5 pots on this string. What bait do we use? We use a mixture of, John's got some salted mackerel in that bucket that stinks. We also use any carcasses and fish heads from the fish that we keep to eat. Any little like wrasse or whiting that we catch as well. Anything really.
Anything like wrasse and whiting.
That's like
when you catch them and they won't be returned. If they're going to die, they aren't worth eating. Then they go in the pots.
But we've got like pollock head and stuff in there at the minute.
Lobster.
Oh!
The light is poking out.
Its little legs were poking out, aren't they? I can see a crab as well.
Wow.
What's your greatest catch of fish ever?
I don't know, I've had some pretty... I've been looking at some special ones. British record sea bass. Then tuna.
Traders.
Caught some great skates, haven't we?
Uh-huh.
Oh, Tim.
Wow.
What's in that one?
Wow, look at those.
Spider crab and an edible crab. Fighting over the bait.
It's my bait. No, it's my bait.
Yeah.
Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
There isn't an awful lot of bait left in these pots because they've been sat for a while. That's why one of the smaller crabs are getting eaten.
Is that a spider crab?
2 spider crabs.
Huh?
Why we have?
They're like buses, those things.
I went out the other day on the shore. There's a video in editing at the minute, and there was loads of them.
Are the pots on rocky ground or a sandy bottom?
You won't catch lobsters generally on sandy ground unless they're moving through. So you want to think about what the habitat is of the things that you want to catch. The same as fishing. There are areas like up in the size of that one.
Ah.
A big crab and a big lobster in there.
Yeah, we've got quite a few lobster and crab catching cooks on the channel. Yes, you can eat spider crab. We're just in the process of doing a catch and cook video with spider crab. What's the weirdest thing we've ever had in the pots? We've literally had like a nearly double figure bullhuss before, haven't we? Like huge.
Lump sucker fish, conger eels. Probably the weirdest thing's going to be that sea urchin. How that sea urchin got in.
Yeah, we fished in Scotland. We went skate fishing.
Well,
more spider crabs.
And some little ones.
And some littler crabs. There's loads of spider crabs in that one.
Let's start with this one. Oh, James, look, there's another little baby fish that's come up with it.
See it over there?
I need a fish tank.
You want a fish tank?
We'll let him go so we can go and find his friends.
What's the biggest lobster you've ever caught?
In the pots.
Yeah.
I don't know. A little male. I think these are all males. Yeah. angry, aren't they? These are all far too small for me to keep. They are probably just on legal size, but they are. The most of the meat's in the claws and the legs. As you can see, the claws aren't very big on these ones. Oh, there's a little baby one. Do you want to hold the baby one?
I want. I don't.
You don't, okay.
Way too small. And that one's way too big.
There's another one. Got loads in this string, haven't we?
Too big.
You can say goodbye to him. What are we going to call this one?
Spidery.
Okay. Very, very original name for spider crab. Little female edible.
Well, there's some little ones stuck.
They're in the corners, aren't they?
Oh!
Another female, but undersized.
Too small.
Can you notice that she's got one smaller arm?
It's a fiddler crab. It's a fiddler crab.
It does look like a fiddler crab. A fiddler crab does have one big one and one small one, but this one, she's lost this one last year and she's growing it back. That's why it's smaller.
This is a fiddler crab.
She really had me then. And another one.
It just flying toward the sun twice.
Yeah.
You see the my from the right and there.
Alright, calm yourself down.
A lobster.
A lobster and a crab. And
Three
three crabs.
Funnily enough, this was the pot that I thought wasn't fishing very well.
If a crab loses both of its claws, can it still feed?
Yes, it can. The Americans have a law where that they can take one claw off a crab and leave it with one. That's so that they've got one crab to keep defending themselves with and fighting with, whatever they do with their claws.
In
the UK you can't. It's against the law to take claws off a crab, and the reason being is because this crab here is undersized, but if you took a claw off you couldn't measure how big the crab was. So in the UK you can't take claw off crabs. Another little female. There's a lot of little girls around, isn't there?
This way the tiny ball. Tiny ball.
Oh, a little boy, a little male. Again with one big one and one small one. Should we call this one Jeremy?
Have you ever gone crabbing in the States?
Tony.
Not really, no. Oh, look how ginger he is.
We've been fishing a couple of times though.
A ginger female. We're going to call this one Christina.
We're told that one.
Yeah.
Pat's wet.
I think she's undersized. Yeah,
And
she
then
is.
told that
You can't call this one Patrick. This one's a girl. It's a ginger girl.
Apparently in Texas you're not allowed to take claws off. Oh, that looks like a keeper.
That is a keeper, definitely.
And then told that Pat's wet.
You call this one Patrick?
What's the legal size for spider crab in the UK? Is it different in different areas?
Yeah, it is. Right. Back of the eye to the back of the carapace, it's got to be 90. There is a 94. Perfect.
John hasn't ever caught a John Dory and he'd really
No, I
like to.
haven't.
Someone's asking what fish you'd like to catch that you still haven't caught. It's probably only about it, isn't it?
A mako shark, I think. Female lobsters, there are a couple of bylaws that you need to remember. One is that they aren't carrying eggs. They carry their eggs underneath here. You can tell that this is a female because this area here on a male, there is a dot on each of those, and these two little fins are bigger. A female has a wider tail here. It flares out. That's where she holds her eggs. There are no eggs, so that's fine. Another thing that you have to bear in mind is we do have something called a V-notching scheme, and in this one or this one, I've shown it in a few of our videos before, V-notching lobsters. And what they'll do is a fisherman or a fisheries officer, they'll use a pair of these that cuts a perfect little V into the end of the tail. That protects the lobster. Eventually, after 3 or 4 years, those V's do grow out. But she's coming home with us.
Yes, Tom's home is bus.
Yes. Right, put that one down.
He stays with us. He stays with us. 2 spider traps.
I am annoyed about losing that pot. I had it shot specifically as a single in a specific place, and it was doing quite well. And I know for definite that it hasn't washed away because it was a massive single, and I had extra weights on it. Another male spider crab.
Too big.
Look at him.
He's small.
Quite quick when they want to be, aren't they? Look.
Ah! Don't.
Oh no, he's got the starfish.
I don't want him.
It's alright, don't worry.
There's a little one.
It's falling. It went.
Can you say goodbye?
Bye bye.
That's enough. Oh, this is a big crab in here. James?
And just a little spider.
Anybody who wants to know about these pots, I've had quite a few people asking me if I'll sell them. These ones here I've made myself, and the amount that I would sell them for, you wouldn't want to pay, because they're worth more to me through
They take so
time,
much time, don't
through
they?
time and effort. Another little male, there's stacks of them about, isn't there? We've just had like a gang of teenage spider crabs come through the pots.
James,
Yes.
someone has asked how old you are.
4.
You're 4?
Yes.
And when are
Medium
you?
4 or
You're
big 4?
you're 5 soon, aren't you?
Yeah.
James is 5 on the 12th of July.
So we can go to another one.
How disappointing is that?
Oh no.
Look at the size of her claws. Right, that'll show you. Person asking about whether or not a crab can survive with no claws. She's lost both of these at the same time. You can tell because they're both the same size. So she's still, well, look at the size, she's an absolute brute. Proper big one. Another ginger one as well. You can tell this is a female by that big pad there. And also because the back has got quite a large, pronounced hump in it. The male's is flatter. But this isn't worth keeping. The majority of the meat's in the claws, and they've only got a little tiny bit in the claws. So we're going to let this one go. Do you want to let it go? Do you want me to do it?
Need to do it.
Me to do it. I'll tell you what, actually, if you pass me the camera, I'll spin it out.
Oh right, sorry, I thought you meant.
See the clarity of the water there, can't you? In fact, I can still see the kelp on the bottom. And we're in 30 feet. Right, last one. Oh, that really is a baby claw. It's got a little deformed claw.
It's got a strong claw.
There really is something wrong with that one.
Oh no. Oh.
Another angry velvet. The American viewers might recognise that these are a lot like your blue crabs. They're called a velvet swimming crab because they've got a velvety texture to them, and the back legs are their swimming legs.
Take my strong hand.
Oh.
It used to be a lot stronger.
Right, look at that little guy. Only a little tiny one.
This one.
Deal with this. Another female. Only a smaller one though. How big do you reckon? 83.
81.
Tell you what, I am good. 83. Through practice. Yeah, lovely. I mean, we'll have a look at the colour variations in them. Again, quite a few of the viewers in the States have commented on. Oh, let go.
Oh, Lobster got hold of this to
She had hold of
try.
her finger, didn't she?
Yes.
You can see the colour differences. There's no two the same. It's like a lobster fingerprint. Even the colour on the claws. Oh, that's something as well. Lobsters have always got two types of claws. They've got a strong one and a cutting one. See, look, she's got a cruncher and a cutter. This is the one for getting older stuff, and the serrated one is the one for cutting it. This one has got the serrated one on the left hand side. This one has got the serrated one on the right hand side. So it's like left and right hand.
Left, right. We meet there.
I'm going to say goodbye.
Boy. That's a big boy.
Get this last crab out of here.
Boy.
Little male
Boy.
velvet swimming crab that's been in the wars. Right. Well, that's the end of the string. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed joining us. It is a lovely day. I'm going to rebait these and shoot them back, and then we're going to head back in. Have you got something to say, James?
Yeah.
Just going to say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye from the fish locker.
Bye.